Donald Trump in doing what he said he would do. Shocker.
That All Lives Matter crowd real quiet today on the Muslim ban.
Here are the top 5 countries with the largest Muslim population. You'll notice that not a single Muslim from these countries is banned from entering the United States. Because it's not a Muslim ban. It's a ban based on a list of terror-linked countries that was created by the Obama administration. Oh, you didn't know that. You just swallowed the frothing hysteria generated by the mainstream media yet again. Where were the protests? Where was the outrage when Obama banned all Iraqi refugees from entering the US for 6 months back in 2011? Twice the amount of time they're banned for under this Trump executive order. 6 times Obama banned migrants from mostly Muslim countries, and you were completely silent. Obama spent 8 years dropping tens of thousands of bombs on Muslim countries, and you said absolutely nothing. He armed the jihadists who were responsible for creating the civil war in Syria that led to the refugee crisis, and most of you supported that. But Trump stops a handful of them from entering the US, and he's the dangerous racist Islamophobe. Despite the fact that refugee admissions under Trump over the course of 2017, around 50,000, will be in line with those admitted under previous administrations. You said nothing about Obama arming Saudi Arabia to slaughter Yemenis, yet now you're suddenly all concerned over Yemeni refugees. Give me a break. But Chuck Schumer's crying over Muslim migrants.
This executive order was mean-spirited and un-American.
After he supported the attack on Libya that led directly to the deaths of thousands of Muslim migrants. And how many of you virtue-signalling celebrity twats have actually read the executive order?
President Donald Trump seems to have made me an alien.
No, the executive order contains an exemption for individuals like you, athletes or politicians, for example, to be allowed to enter the country. Again, read the frigging text before amplifying the hysterical backlash that is based on media manipulation and total delusion.
Statistics. Just 2 Americans killed annually by Islamic jihadist immigrants.
Okay, so 1 you've conveniently only included up until 2014, leaving out the 2015 San Bernardino attack, where 14 Americans were killed by Tashfeen Malik, an Islamic jihadist immigrant. And here's another 20 vetted refugees who turned to terrorism after being allowed to enter America. And 2, the reason why less Americans than Europeans have been killed by Islamic jihadist immigrants is because, unlike Europe, America hasn't welcomed in millions of potential Islamic jihadist immigrants.
President Trump's ban on refugees and immigrants from certain countries is shameful and cruel.
Yeah, you're the guy who shared a stage with an ISIS supporter 9 times and said that people in the West will have to live with terrorism. Go screw yourself.
To those fleeing persecution, terror and war, Canadians will welcome you, regardless of your faith. Diversity is our strength.
Unless you're a single male, in which case, you're not welcome.
How to make terrorists. 1. Ban everybody from a certain group from entering the country. 2. Wait.
So you're saying that Muslims will become terrorists because Trump offended them? Wait, I thought that terrorism had nothing to do with Islam. Yeah, that sounds pretty Islamophobic if you ask me. And why would it be a good idea anyway to let in so many people who so easily resort to terrorism, as you admitted in your tweet, you utter moron? This group of people will turn crazy violent if they don't get what they want, so you should let them in.
The assassination is taking such a long time.
Right, so Trump's the bigot because he's persecuting refugees under the false pretext of preventing terrorism, and yet you want him to be assassinated by a terrorist.
There are 1.5 billion Muslims in the world. If we were all dangerous, you wouldn't be around to sign a Muslim ban.
Is Trump supposed to be thankful to you for not assassinating him?
Trump order begins by invoking 9/11 3 times. 9/11 hijackers were from Egypt, Saudi Arabia, UAE and Lebanon. None of those countries banned.
Well, A, they're considering adding more countries to the list, and B, you're saying that Trump's an unhinged dictator for banning Muslims, then asking him why he hasn't banned 100 million more Muslims.
Many people negatively affected by this policy are strong supporters of the US. They've done right, not wrong, and don't deserve to be rejected.
Yeah, and 21% of Syrian refugees support ISIS. But let's just let them all in because a few Iraqi translators got held up at the airport. But despite everything I've said, I agree. Banning people from countries because of their religion is horrible, right? I mean, who would do such a thing? Oh, I don't know, how about the 16 Islamic countries that ban Israelis because of their religion? And where was the outcry when one of those countries, Saudi Arabia, left 300,000 air-conditioned tents that could house 3 million refugees sitting empty? This is what it comes down to. The left and the mainstream media would rather see innocent Americans die at the hands of Islamic terrorists than allow Trump to be successful. The regressive left is 1,000 times more outraged about this temporary travel ban created by the Obama administration in the first place than they are about actual Islamic terror attacks, than they are about the mangled bodies of dead children on the streets, be they Westerners or Muslims. They're more outraged at this than all the Muslim acid attacks, honour killings, throwing gays off buildings, stoning female rape victims to death put together. And they're all posing again, pretending to have the moral high ground because there were some protests. Protests that were bankrolled once again by George Soros, the guy who helped turn in Jewish refugees to the Nazis. Yeah, there's your moral frigging high ground. And that's the truth about the Muslim ban that isn't a Muslim ban. Click the link below to subscribe to the channel, and for more breaking news go to Infowars.com.